Before you decide what to invest in, you need to understand how your personal situation shapes your investment strategy. Two people can buy the exact same index fund, but if one is 25 and the other is 60, their approach and their risk level should look very different. Welcome to Module 4. This lesson gives you the foundation you need to build an investment portfolio that fits your goals, your timeline, your emotional comfort, your financial resilience. Let's start with the two pillars of investment risk. The first and arguably the most important factor in risk is your time horizon. Ask yourself, how long until I'll need to withdraw this money? This matters because over long periods, 10, 20, 30 years, the stock market has historically recovered from every downturn. Over short periods, 1 to 5 years, the stock market can be extremely volatile. For example, if you're 30 and investing for retirement at 60, you have decades. If you're buying a house in 3 years, it may be too risky to rely on stock market growth. General principles to factor in are: the longer your timeline, the more risk you can usually afford. The shorter your timeline, the more cautious your portfolio should be. Risk isn't only about numbers, it's also about human behavior. Ask yourself honestly, if my portfolio dropped 20% overnight, how would I react? If it fell every month for a full year, would I stay calm or panic sell? Because here's the reality: the stock market will fall. It may fall more than once, it may fall when you least expect it. And historically, the US market was ever dropped by over 43%. Even government bonds have dropped by over 13%. So, becoming a long-term investor requires emotional resilience. Think about this simple test. If a 20 to 30% drop makes you feel sick, anxious, or tempted to sell, you are not suited to a high-risk, equity-heavy portfolio. And that's okay. The right portfolio is the one you can stay invested in. It's also important to remember that avoiding risk entirely carries its own danger: inflation risk, where cash and overly cautious portfolios lose purchasing power over time. Your asset allocation is simply the mix of investments in your portfolio, typically divided between equities, which is stocks, and bonds. Different mixes come with different risk levels. Here are the most common examples. High risk, up to 80 to 100% equities and 0 to 20% bonds. This is suitable for young investors with long time horizon, 10 plus years, those comfortable with volatility. Medium risk, which can be 60 to 80% of equities and 20 to 40% of bonds. This is suitable for balanced investors, people who want growth but also stability. Low risk, 40 to 60% equity and 40 to 60% bonds. This is suitable for short time horizons, those close to retirement, and anyone who prioritizes protecting capital. There is no correct allocation, only the ones that aligns with your goals and emotions. Once you understand time horizons and emotional tolerance, many people naturally ask how age fits into all of these. And you may have heard the rule: 100 minus your age is equal to the percentage of your portfolio that should be in equities. For example, age 30 will have 70% equities and 30% bonds. Age 50 will have 50% equities and 50% bonds. This is traditional advice, but many experts believe it's outdated because people are living longer, Retirements now often last 20 to 30 plus years. Therefore, we may need more growth, not less. A modern approach is stay in equities for longer, especially during your wealth building years. But again, only if you can emotionally tolerate the volatility. For example, a 28-year-old investing for retirement has a time horizon of 30 plus years. Emotional tolerance is medium to high. Possible allocation 90% equities, 10% bonds. Example number 2, a 45-year-old planning to buy her home in 5 years. Time horizon is short. Emotional tolerance is medium. Possible allocation 40% equity, 60% bonds, or even more cautious. Example number 3, a 60-year-old approaching retirement. Time horizon is short. Emotional tolerance is low. Possible allocation 30 to 50% equities, 50 to 70% bonds. Workplace pension use this logic too. Most automatically shift your money into safer assets 5 to 15 years before your retirement. This is a strategy called lifestyling. Where you invest also affects your risk. For example, investing only in UK companies, concentrated, higher risk. Investing globally, diversified, broader protection. Adding emerging markets, higher volatility, higher long-term potential. Or focusing heavily on technology stocks. Big upside, but big downside. Investing across multiple sectors, more balance. Diversification is still one of the most powerful risk management tools. Before adding anything to your portfolio, ask, do I understand what this investment does and why I'm choosing it? Not, I saw it's trending. Not, someone on TikTok said it's the next big thing. When in doubt, simplify. Many people successfully build wealth in one global index fund, the whole haystack, and adjust their allocations with bonds as their life circumstances change. More funds do not equal better investing. This is important. You do not need to get everything perfect on day one. As you grow in knowledge and confidence, your asset allocation will change, your timeline will change, your risk tolerance may change, your portfolio will naturally evolve. What matters most is that you start with a simple, sensible structure you can stick to. Now that you understand risk and asset allocation, you're ready for the next step. Module 4, Lesson 4.2, which is choosing where and what to invest in. This is where we talk about countries, sectors, company sizes, and how to build global exposure. As always, this lesson is for educational purposes only and not personal financial advice. Remember, good investing is not about complexity. It's about alignment, discipline, and consistency. I'll see you in the next one.